Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Wicked Weekly. My name's Brian, if you happen to be new around here. And in today's video, I've been gathering y'all's questions over the last month, and I thought it would be a really good time to sit down, get everybody caught up to speed, look through pretty much the most frequently asked questions, and obviously this is going to be heavily focused in the co-op multiplayer update. Now, if you guys have been following the channel, if you're hungry for brand new news and information, just note the devs have gone radio silent. They're focusing in on this co-op update. We'll talk about the potential release dates in this video, but if you've been following every video that I make here on the channel, chances are you're already well informed. I don't want to waste your time. Thank you guys for coming in, and I would appreciate if you guys hang out for the video. We got a lot to discuss. I'd love to hear your thoughts also in the comments, especially as we get ready to step into this co-op update here in the very near future, but that's going to be relative to some of us. But that's what this video is going to focus in on, is y'all's questions, giving everybody the detail, getting us all on the same page. And of course, as soon as we have breaking news and information, I'll be sharing it with you here in the Wicked Weekly. Speaking of which, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for the support on the channel. We've seen continued growth month over month. And also we are seeing more and more of you guys check out the membership here on the channel. Membership, for those of you who don't know, just starts at $3, but I even have a $1 option over on the podcast. And you guys have also really been supporting the podcast as well. If you're interested in that content, the links are all in the description. You can just click it, head over there as well. Or if you do, consider, becoming a member here, thank you guys so much for that support. It really directly helps support the content here on the channel. But again, you just being here is incredible. So welcome in, welcome back. Let's dive in to y'all's Q&A, and here we go. Kirkers writes, when is co-op coming? I just want to play with my mates. I think this is pretty true for a bunch of us. I know there is a collection of players who are not interested in co-op, and so I understand, but I think there is a lot of people, especially who have yet to purchase and step into the game, that have been waiting for this update for some time. Now, let's talk about timelines. Again, these are estimate, but this is just my dev brain at work based off of everything they've said, everything they've shown, and I think we're actually getting relatively close. Now, obviously, we're recording this here at the start of July. I do not anticipate right now that July is going to be a month that we see the co-op update. If I'm wrong, I'd love to be wrong. I'd love for it to be as soon as possible. But realistically, I think we're looking at August at the earliest, September most likely, October kind of that giving them, hey, we ran into issues, we got to make sure that it's right. Because one thing about these devs is we benefit, we all win when we give these guys plenty of time to cook. And so that is going to be something they're going to continue to focus in on. Now, just because the multiplayer is rolling out, just note that it's not going to include PvP as a part of that. That will be coming later. And speaking of which, Super the CV says, will there be PvP in future updates? Absolutely. That's going to be the case, in which that we're going to see PvP much later down the road, but it is coming, and they've expressed a couple of things they're going to be doing with PvP, namely because you have kind of like an arena in which you can kind of queue and get matched up. You can also have friendly fire as a part of your multiplayer, which anybody who's played Helldivers 2 knows how much fun and sometimes frustrating that can ultimately be. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that balances out, but we've already seen the birth of realm tiers and continue to evolve into custom realms. So I'm wondering how much of all of this they'll let us configure as well. There is talk of perhaps invasions and at least being able to turn those on and off. So when we know more about the PvP, we'll be sitting down, breaking it down. I, for one, am interested and very excited about it, because for those of you who haven't played this game yet, it actually feels more like a fighting game that happens to be an isometric ARPG, which is really exciting to see. The combat really does shine, and I really can't wait to see how that plays out, especially in, kind of a player versus player environment. But just note, PvP is going to be later. I don't know if that's going to be included in the Sanctuary Milestone update or the Combat 2.0 Milestone update, or if there's other Milestone updates that they have internally that they haven't shared with us publicly. All of this is moving us forward into the 1.0, aka the full release, but we're more on that here in a bit. Jordan asks, my question may have been mentioned somewhere, but have they mentioned what co-op is going to even look like? I'm new to the game, but will the whole story be co-op or just the Crucible portion? And so for those of you who don't know, it's going to be the whole game. You get to opt into it. You can make a multiplayer realm. You can invite guests onto your realm, or you can invite citizens. And so from that perspective, if you make somebody a citizen, they have the same rights and privileges as you. If you do get kicked out, because there will be a vote to kick option, you will get a full copy of that realm that you can continue your journey on. So it's not like you've lost progress within that realm in and of itself. But the full game can be played co-op. It's going to be 4 players max in any one particular instance. That's going to be interesting to see how that works. I hope there is a queuing system, personally speaking. As somebody who streams the game, it'd be really cool to be like, yeah, we got, we got 4 players playing right now. Y'all can line up in queue so that whenever somebody has to go, that immediately slots you in. That'd be something really cool. In my mind, I think of the quarter system from the old arcades. For those of you who remember playing Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat in the arcades, you'd put your quarter on the bench, and once somebody got knocked out, you got to step in and check it out. But multiplayer, you can play Crucible multiplayer, you can play the whole game, single player as well. So the flexibility and choice is going to be up to yours. Now, your friends can progress the realm. They can upgrade the things even while you're not online. So it's not going to be like it's running locally on your computer or your console. It's going to allow you to your friends that are citizens of the realm to be able to jump in and continue to play and do various things. So this could be interesting to see how it has any kind of give and take, if that causes any level of frustration. But we will hopefully be able to go hands-on with it here fairly soon. Like I said, either sometime in August, September, or October, and they'll continue to refine it as well along the way until the game is fully ready and fully released. Jeff writes, are there adding classes? When will it be in? Amazing news, as I dislike classless leveling. And this is in regards to the job system, aka the class system, in which Thomas has teased with a heavy focus and inspiration from Final Fantasy Tactics, which, as a Final Fantasy Tactics fan, and so excited that game's getting remade and remastered, that is an absolute must buy for those of you who don't know. We'll also try to give away copies of the game. I want more and more people playing Tactics to help support that. And hopefully we might see future Tactics like the Advanced 1 and 2 series, maybe even a sequel to Final Fantasy Tactics. That would be huge. I think very exciting for a lot of us. But that being said, is that yes. Now, when will it be in? I think the earliest that you can kind of expect is going to be the Combat 2.0 Milestone update. Time frame wise, again, if the multiplayer co-op update is in September, October, September, August, September, October. Don't know why I put my months completely out of order there. Chances are the Sanctuary update is going to be sometime in the new year. Combat maybe sometime later next spring or summertime. Roughly speaking, they're kind of looking at that 2 to 3 months per kind of big major milestone update, which is enough time to really kind of cook these ideas and bring them in. So we're all gonna be waiting a little while. Now, they could surprise us. I'd love to be wrong on this. Thomas in the interview did allude to a lot of the work has already been done, but when it's ready, it's going to be ready. I could see them also rolling it out in terms of like, hey, we got these classes, and then there's going to be more classes to come. So we're still kind of, they could do something along that nature, but it has to remain to be seen. Rest assured, as soon as we get information and more details about it, I'll be covering it here for you as well. Now, I'm going to butcher the name. We're going to call him Ebb. He says, so I finished the story after the Breach release. It was very fun. Is it worth a replay it after the patch? The attribute system is still there, right? Yes, currently the attribute system is there. I don't see that going away, or that's going to be a part of the transition to the job class system and how your stats are going to be more focusing on, obviously your build, and that's going to give you more flexibility with skill trees and things that you can unlock. I'm personally very excited to see how that plays out. But is it worth it? This is going to be a subjective answer. For me, I have been enjoying leveling multiple characters, but I'm not necessarily really paying attention to the story each time I play it. The story is still the story, and with all stories, in my mind, once I kind of experience it, maybe I'll experience it again when 1.0 comes out to kind of have that full playthrough, because even still playing it now within the Breach, there were things that I didn't either remember because it's been over a year. So if it's been a while since you played through it, I could see that value. If you don't have anything else that you're really excited and you want to play, I could see the value in it. But I'm hard pressed to kind of encourage multiple playthroughs of a story that isn't complete, especially because that will, we know that will come, with 1.0, we know that will come when the game continues to progress. So yeah, up to you. Nothing, not knocking it, but it's not something that I would do. I just skip the story now as I level up different characters. Now, Little Adventures writes, I agree with your assessment. I'm really looking forward to the game. Thomas mentioned adding a third-person view where you'd be able to move the camera around, which is my current biggest gripe. Do you know what the ETA on that is? And right now, the ETA is uncommitted. So being that they showed it off, it does increase the potential that that's going to absolutely exist in the game at some point. But what he showed off was an early build, meaning when it comes to development, especially game development, there's some things that you can do really quickly, but it still would require a lot of refinement. There's a lot of things that you have to kind of consider, and you also have to make sure that that doesn't break other aspects of the game. And so I don't anticipate it anytime this year if they do add it. Now, again, as always, if things come sooner than I expect, I think we all win in that regards. I'm just trying to set expectations further out so that players aren't going to grow unnecessarily frustrated by something that Thomas in his excitement showed us. And honestly, I appreciate that as somebody who really loves the game and understands the process. I appreciate their willingness and openness. However, we've seen that with, game journos and various different things, taking things out of context, and gamers do treat anything they see as a promise. So it is a risk versus reward kind of aspect. I don't know if they win more than they lose by doing it, but regardless, I still think we're going to have a little longer wait for the third person camera aspect, but who knows? We'll see. And as soon as we know more, I'll be sure to let you know. The Lollycaster writes, I'm sorry if this has been said. I think I know the answer, but will players lose progress when the game is released? I noticed I lost my progress after the big breach update. Is it still a risk? And to start, the game is they've already always communicated there will be wipes. Now, what they're saying is that after the breach update, they don't anticipate a new wipe until release, meaning, and this goes to everybody here, and please spread the word, whether you share this video or not, let all your friends know that if they step into early access, come 1.0, we're all starting fresh. And honestly, I'm not against it, namely because I, as somebody who's been playing this game already for well over a year, well over 200 hours, I already have an kind of inherent knowledge of the game, and so I have an advantage. However, to step into a game where players are already at max level, especially with trading and things like that, I just think it's just going to make more sense. It'll be much more exciting. It's going to be better for the vast majority to have that happen. If that's going to bother you, just wait to play the game. Like if that is going to be something that breaks you later, just wait to play the game. So don't necessarily get overly invested unless you want to. There's no shade in it, but just know that will for sure be coming. We don't anticipate any others because they've said that their goal is to make the next one with release. So from now until the game's release, your characters are safe. So feel free to continue to play if you want to in that regards. All right, 12. It's like Chase. I was like, oh man, I got his name lost. He says, man, this thing is seriously ever going to full release. I'm pumped to check this out, dude. How long is early access, bro? First and foremost, I am not anticipating the full release of this game until late 2026. As always, I'd love to. This is going to be I need to get a mug. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love for it to come sooner. But that's going to be just where it is. It could easily slip into 2027 too. So let's set our expectations. The devs want to cook. They want to make this game the best thing that it can possibly be. They are holding off on console until 1.0, until the full release. So all my console friends out there, just note, I'm with you. I'm looking forward to playing this on console. I'm looking forward to playing this on Switch too. I think this is going to be really exciting for a lot of us when that day comes, just like with why am I drawing a blank? It was the Baldur's Gate 3. There we go. That came to consoles with the release. I think that helped really propel the excitement and hype around the game, let alone just the PC aspect. So all of that being brought in, I think a lot of people were excited, and I think it paid off for them. And I think they're hoping that will also happen here as well. So we still got a little while till full release, meaning your characters are safe for at least a little while, as opposed to the breach update, which wiped us all out. All right. Idea Max says, can you tell me the title and singer of the piece that opens up your video? And this was on my live stream. For those of you who don't know, I was like in a band back in the day. I write songs, and I have been continuing to write songs. I just don't have the bandwidth or the people to actually record, and that's just a fact of life, right? 6 kids checks out, right? I don't think anybody's sitting here holding a grudge on that. So I have started using Sono, which is an AI tool. Now, AI in and of itself is a controversial subject. And as somebody who is an artist, published, likes to draw, and publishes stuff out here on the internet, just note, I share a lot of those same concerns. So my general view in adopting this as a productivity tool, because there's no way I could write all these songs and do all the things I do. So it allows me to explore this creative outlet as I write the songs and kind of tweak it through the AI. And that's what you guys get to hear, the end result. But if I ever write like a hit song, for example, I will absolutely hire a band and get that thing done. We did a podcast rebrand. Like I said, like the numbers might not seem incredible, powerful to y'all, but they feel great to me. The fact that we got positive sub growth and a lot of watch time. I, to start, went in and kind of, as a part of the rebrand, used AI to generate some ideas. And then I took that to a professional artist who helped really kind of bring it home, finish it off and make it look great. So the intro and all that stuff as a part of the rebrand was through and paying an actual human being. So I use AI kind of as a jumping off point, and then I kind of go in and say, hey, well, so for some reason, if I write a really big hit song, then absolutely we'll pay a band. Otherwise, I'm just kind of writing silly songs and my faith-based songs and things like that, because it's just an expression of things that I have inside me that I want to get out into the world, but I don't have necessarily the bandwidth to do that at my current state in life. So just note, if you want to check it out, Ginger Prime Music, that is the channel. And I have, as I publish the songs, they'll show up there and you can go check them out. I'd love it if you guys went and gave them a listen. Love your feedback. I'm more kind of focusing in on a country kind of theme right now, but I have done some of the stuff with it, like the Gamergate 2.0 videos, taking kind of clips and various different phrases in terms of kind of a rap battle aspect. So you can kind of listen to that if you're interested, but I'll leave it up to you. We'll go from there. Litkuza says, are they adding in a mini map? I do not know. There is the obviously map that they have. I have not heard. I do wonder if we'll see mods added into the game later. So at this time, and unless anybody else can correct me in the comments below, there is not plans for a mini map in the game, but we'll see. I do hope they give us the ability to kind of change the UI to our likings, move various different elements around. We're still waiting for that. Who knows? Maybe something like that will show up in the game and later point in the future. Gray Fox says, is this game still a stuttery mess? I guess it really depends on kind of the hardware that you're running on. I do run into kind of a hiccup here and there, and I do run on a fairly strong computer, but whether I'm playing on Steam Deck or PC, my experience has been really good. And I know that sucks for those of you who are out there and it's not that case, but optimization will continue to happen every update, every patch. That's going to be something that's going to be constantly worked on until it's done right. And the problem is that they're also continuing to develop the game. So optimization is going to be something that has to happen each and every time. So every update will have some, I think, things that improve and maybe some things that need improvement. So just note and set that expectation as the game continues to go live. Now, I do expect by the time 1.0 is out, they're going to have a really good understanding of the requirements, the specs, and what kind of performance you can get out of it. And I hope that they can really knock that out of the park, because I know that is a kind of a sticking point for a lot of us. And it's fair. I'm not saying you're wrong. By all means, when we play these games, we want to play these games, but it is going to be what it is. All right. Restless Juan says, burning torn resources, the plagued items. This is on a live stream in which that I learned that, by burning the plague resources, you don't suffer all the disadvantages. This is really nice. This is a really nice system, and I really appreciate that they have that as well. So just note, if you're struggling and you want to try to increase your rewards, you do get more rewards from doing that. And that is kind of the trade-off. And so, consider checking it out. I know these are highly sought after, and I know today I'm going to be doing some farming for them, and we'll just kind of go from there. But yeah, lots of fun, lots of really cool stuff. Luke writes, so the real question is, when is Brian being hired as Moon Studios PR director? Not anytime soon. I don't I don't think I have bandwidth for any more hours to go and work, but no, I'm just happy to be a fan of the game, and I'm really happy that you guys are here and you enjoy the content that I put out on the internet. Try not to abuse that trust. I want to make sure that you guys get something good out of all these videos, and if it draws attention to people checking out this incredible game, I think that's a win for everybody. I think I win because I want the game to really be a success. It's really great. And if I can help that anyway, I get to do that, and I get to do that for free. And occasionally I get to sit down with the devs and talk. So I think it's just a fun thing, So I always just kind of view myself as a fan. I do appreciate and I do recognize, kind of the responsibility of the audience here at the channel as we continue to move closer and closer to that 90K and then hopefully 100K. That's my only real milestone. If you want to help the channel get there, share it with a friend, somebody who may be interested in the game. I'd appreciate it, but no pressure either way. Anyway, yeah, no plans to join the Moon Studio team anytime soon. However, it would be a great honor, especially as somebody who loves making games and loves programming, so I'm not saying I'm against it at some point in the future. It just depends. I do like my current job and it's awesome. So very happy with the state of things at work. All right. And for our final question, Devyal Vershuju says, what's up with the echo in this video? For those of you who don't know, we've been doing a home remodel. So my stream schedule and content schedule has been a little bit out of whack, but that's okay. I have now officially moved into the new office. This is one of the things we built into the house. We've been saving up for this for 5 years. We're big Dave Ramsey fans, by the way, meaning we do, we save up for things in cash and then we pull the trigger. So I now have a brand new office and I've been putting stuff up on the walls and yada, yada, yada. That all being said, we're still working on sound. We're going to put some curtains up in here, do things that are going to ultimately make this a much better recording experience because, it's a bigger room. There is, different, flooring. So there's some, audio challenges that we're working our way on. So hopefully that's not too big of an issue. And hopefully it isn't too big of an issue in this video in and of itself. But yeah, that's what's going on. Now, as I like to do, I want to wrap up this video with our message of hope. And right now, I tell you, there's a lot of suffering going on in Texas. And so if you guys have any ability to do so, please look into all the various different services to help out with this camp. I feel selfish and I always kind of struggle when talking about these things publicly because this has really kind of torn me up. Like the girls in this camp, they're the age of my kids. Like I said, I got 6 kids, so it's like we hit a huge chunk of that range, and so I grieve with the families. I grieve with the state, the loss from this tragic flood. So for me, again, the optimist, I'm not trying to diminish the suffering out there because guess what? Suffering makes each one of us human. The optimist in me is like, well, this is a really good reminder for me to appreciate my kids, even when it gets loud, even when, they don't clean their rooms, because I'm not guaranteed I'm not guaranteed another day. This could always be my last video I make. None of us are guaranteed any additional time. And so it's a kind of it helps me draw back into the present and really kind of focus in on the here and now and really focusing on kind of being grateful for these sufferings and for these blessings that are in my current state of life. So I'd encourage you guys, because the internet, it's been hard getting online. I wanted to make a video the other day and I just couldn't, I just can't, it's just hard, and I'm not somebody who lost, their kid in this regard. And so, there was a video I wanted to make and it was kind of just frustrating about questionings of trust and Xbox and all that being said. And I'm like, in the grand scheme of things, who cares? It's like about Xbox right now. Who cares about what's going on in gaming? And that I think is a good reminder. So if you guys do have loved ones, I'd encourage you guys today to make sure you let them know, whether that's a text message, a phone call, or some kind of act of kindness, something, do something for them. I think you're going to get a lot out of it. And if you're somebody who, like me, who randomly suffers from depression, I have seasonal depression and stuff like that. So that's a fun little, I guess, what is it? Trait. If we're thinking of life as an RPG, it's a really good reminder. So a really good way to help snap, you out. Cause I think we were made, to give. I think we were made in that regards. And so I take a lot of hope because while I know there are people who are suffering and we're all going, we're all on this together. I take a lot of hope in the fact that this suffering is temporary and we will all be united again one day in the future. And so that's something I look forward to, and thanks be to God and thanks be to Jesus Christ for his sacrifice, because he shows us how to suffer with him on the cross. But all right, that's going to wrap this up for this week weekly in this message of hope. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Hopefully you got something good out of it. I look forward to seeing you in the next video and or live stream. And outside of that, guys, I wish you guys all the best. God bless, and take care.
Dust in my boots, I ain't here to fail.